I think I'm in focus. I can't see from here. So this video was supposed to go out for Asexual Awareness Week, but I was super busy, so yeah, it's coming out now. So a question that I've been asked a few times, and that I've been asked to make a video on, is do I think asexual people belong in LGBTQ plus spaces in the community? And the short answer, of course, is yes. And I'm gonna preface the long answer just by saying that there's no reason why ace people shouldn't be welcomed into the community. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about, I guess. God, I haven't done this in so long. So the definition of what LGBTQ plus means, obviously like not the acronym itself, but like the general concept, it really depends on who you ask. So if you ask me, I would say that it's a community of people who don't really conform to society's standards of like, I guess the heteronormative standards is what I'm trying to say. But another common definition for the community is simply like a community that's inclusive of people who aren't cisgendered or heterosexual or neither of those. A lot of people actually, do define it as, or do see it, I guess, as sort of a more exclusive group for people who receive the most judgment or receive the most oppression for, you know, their sexual or gender identities and who they are. The truth is, there's no right or wrong answer to that question, to what LGBTQ plus really means or what it really represents. So, I mean, whose job is it to tell people who does and doesn't belong there? See, here's the thing. So if I'm asexual and aromantic, and I choose to call myself queer, that doesn't take away from the fact that, you know, gay people and trans people and, you know, other people in the community have been oppressed for so long. You know, we're not denying those struggles. We're not even equating them to our own. You'll hear a lot of asexual people saying that we don't experience the same struggles or the same oppression that, you know, for example, gay people and trans people do. All we're doing is pulling up a seat to the table and saying, maybe it's time that we got to tell our stories, because we've got a lot to tell. We don't see ourselves very often represented in TV or in the movies. I mean, I still cry every time I see Todd Chavez from BoJack Horseman coming out on screen, because before him, I had never heard the word asexual even said on the screen in like a way that wasn't derogatory. I mean, it's common for people to think that they're broken before they think they're asexual, and it's common for us to hear that we just haven't found the right people yet, or that our identity doesn't actually exist, or that there's something wrong with us medically. But why do we need to say all that to have a place in the community? Why do we need to prove that we're oppressed to a certain degree in order to be listened to? My favorite quote on the subject comes from Echo Gillette in a recent video she did about asexuality. Basically, she says it's important to allow asexual people into the community simply because it's better if we fight together. And honestly, that's so true. I mean, we all want visibility. We don't only want to be heard, we want to be listened to, and we want to be understood. I mean, that's so important to, you know, the well-being, especially of people who are just, you know, finding that label that works for them. Like, I was one of the people who thought there was something wrong with them before I ever even was aware that the term asexual existed, or aware of the possibility of not experiencing sexual attraction. I mean, I and so many other people spent so much time thinking that there was something in us that needed to be fixed, rather than being able to embrace who we were. And a huge part of that was not having a community to show us support and to back us up. We don't want to take your resources. We don't want to silence your voices so that we can have the spotlight. We just want to stand beside you because we all want the same thing, and we can help each other get there. It is better if we fight together. The reason I've struggled with calling myself queer, because I do think that I am, but the only reason I've struggled with that is because of this talk around the LGBTQ plus community, around the queer community, that asexual people, aromantic people don't deserve that title. It's hard to make peace with that community when so many people are telling us that we don't belong with them. It all comes down to the same thing. It's better if we stand together on this. So, yeah, hope you have a good day, good night. Happy late Asexual Awareness Week. Thank you for listening to this. And I'm gonna go take a nap. So I'll see you soon.